have a favorite Halloween memory you can share?
I'm gonna be real. I hated Halloween for the majority of my young life. It terrified me. I was such a scaredy cat. I am a scaredy cat. When I was like 10 years old in Florida, it was super, super hot on Halloween, so we were all trick-or-treating, and we just kept stripping off pieces of our costumes because it was so hot. And finally, we were all basically just wearing t-shirts and shorts, and we were like, what if we go around the neighborhood again and get more candy?
Brilliant.
The adults probably knew it was us, but like we are 10 years old being like, we're brilliant.
In Australia, it's not like as big of a holiday.
Back in high school, when we were too old to be trick-or-treating anyway, but like a wealthier neighborhood that we'd like sneak into, and they would give out like full Snickers bars and like soda cans and like huge candy. So we would go and like just literally round the neighborhood several times and like have pillowcases.
I went trick-or-treating with the Jonas Brothers once, and nobody knew it was them because of course we were all dressed up. It was around like the Burbank area. We went as the High School Musical cast.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we're in Camp Rock. We had a few people who were like, wait, are those the Jonas Brothers? But that was probably the best memory.
I was trick-or-treating one night, and I was walking up, and this is me like at 17 years old. We were still trick-or-treating. I'm an old kid. But we were walking up to the door, and like there's a guy sitting there in costume, and we thought it was just like a prop. So like I'm like stepping over this guy, and he jumped up as I was stepping over him, and I like fell into the lady's door and just like freaked out.
Since we're twins, we used to do like twin costumes, like Thing 1 and Thing 2, Tinkerbell and Peter Pan.
There's one time one kid came up to us, we were like 4 years old, and he had a Scream costume, and he like turned the blood on, and all of a sudden Peyton like started freaking out and ran over to my mom and screamed. That was pretty funny. That was like the only time I remember.
It was disgusting because it was a Scream mask that actually like pumped blood when you pressed a button, right?
Like 4-year-olds, it was kind of scary.
Halloween was big in my house. We love Halloween, so I would dress up as Belle, and my sister would be Tinkerbell every single year, and it was our favorite. It was the best, and we would always get all the candy and eat everything that night, which is definitely not good for us, but it was delicious.
I was Red Riding Hood, and we just walked around the neighborhood, got candy. Like, honestly, every Halloween, it's pretty much just trick-or-treating. Always love free candy.
When I was little, like very little, my mom never dressed up for Halloween. One year she dressed up as a witch, and I got so scared that I went home. I was like, Dad, take me home. I don't know who that is, but it's not my mom. There's like a photo of me being like, and my mom being like going for a hug, and I was like, that is not my mom.
I think it's really fun when we dressed up as cousins, aka we were Superman and Supergirl, and we didn't realize until afterwards everybody was commenting like, that's kind of
I realized we were cousins. I 100% knew
he
we were
realized he
cousins.
didn't say anything. That's worse.
I said a lot.
But it's a really
Just later.
special memory.
My first time trick-or-treating in LA, it was the first time that it wasn't actually 50 degrees, and we were trick-or-treating, and it was a lot of fun. I felt so privileged to have warm weather while I was trick-or-treating.
I did a magic trick for every single house I went to one year dressed as like a magician. I had like a top hat and everything. I did a magic to every single house. We went to a ton of houses, and I think I got less candy because of it. Like they were literally like okay, cool, like let's move it along. I was like 13.
Mine, we just traded candy a lot. We were all about weighing the candy, so we would like trade for chocolate and everything because it weighed the most. Very strategic,
In hindsight, it was a ripoff. Our parents would give us $1 for every pound of candy, so we would trade all of our friends for all the heaviest candies.
Yeah.
I really love dressing up for Halloween as like something funny because I'm not like the scary side of things. I get really scared. So last year I was Stevie Wonder Woman, and I had like a Wonder Woman costume, but then I had like sunglasses. So I kind of do like puns for Halloween.
Last year for Halloween, we were handing out candy to the trick-or-treaters, and a lot of people didn't know who I was. And so I was like, I bet you the next people will know who I am. I'm going to ask them. And so we opened the door, and it's two little boys. I'm like, of course they're going to know that I'm just a Skrillex. And I'm so like, do you guys know who I am? He goes, no, but my little sister does. I was like, oh my gosh, she thinks I'm probably the most arrogant YouTuber ever.
Last year I just decided to be a pumpkin. I didn't do anything special. I literally just bought a huge pumpkin costume, and I was like, hey.
I actually dressed up for the first time ever for Halloween last year as Prince. And that was super fun.
When I was younger, I would go and literally like when they would bring out the bucket of candy, I would take like 5 handfuls and just fill my sack, and finally my parents were like, it's actually polite if you take like 1 or 2 pieces, and I was like, but I want to take the whole bucket. Like I want to go home and eat all this candy. So I learned.
When I was a little kid, my parents dressed me up in a Dalmatian outfit with a tail. And I was probably about like, I don't know, 4 or 5. I actually chased my tail. Literally it was like a dog. I was chasing my tail trying to get it.
I think last year was still my favorite. I actually didn't do much. I didn't go out much. Like me, my cousin was just like, do you want to go trick-or-treating? Okay, let's go trick-or-treating. We walked around, whatever, but then when we got home, we just like turned off all the lights, put on like twinkle lights and stuff, and then we watched like full on 2 seasons of MTV Scream, and we're just like, yes. Oh, it was so cool. And
was just like eating chocolate. In my old neighborhood, we used to have a really big hill, and at Halloween time, we would do the whole strip. My friend's dad would take us down the hill, and then we would change costumes and just keep going and rack up on candy.
Every Halloween, me and my friend dress up together, and we bring my dog, and she dresses up too. We were like in jail, with like the striped costumes, and she was like the police and stuff, and she's so cute, and we take her in a little stroller, and she just sits there in her costume, and it's the cutest thing ever.
One time I dressed up as like Scream in the Face with suspenders, with like glasses on, and it was like a nerdy Scream with a ninja sword.
When I was young, I was obsessed with Ninja Turtles, and my mom said, okay, you can be whatever you want to be, but you got to make the costume yourself. I handmade a terrible Ninja Turtle costume. It's probably the worst costume you've ever seen, so there's no pictures of it online.
Halloween Horror Nights for sure. I always go every single year for the past 3 years with my friends, and it's so much fun. We get to scream the crap out of our lungs together.
My favorite memory was watching The Conjuring 2 on Halloween.
This is not really a great story. It's kind of sad. Halloween is my absolute favorite holiday. And one time when I was younger, I was invited to my very first Halloween party. And my dad said that I couldn't go. So I literally sat at home doing absolutely nothing. And I looked really cool.
I don't necessarily like to be scared. I get scared very easily.
I'm really excited because we, as a cast, are going to Halloween Horror Nights, Universal. So she's gonna be so scared, and it's gonna be so much fun to see her.
They're just gonna throw me at the people.
It's gonna be so great.